Here's Amy's pile of stories.
So last night on American Idol, there was a scary moment where there was a propane leak, and it was legit. It was real. Like, it wasn't like a setup thing. I need the behind the scenes from Bobby.
I was outside in the back, and I'm working with contestants, and I hear, hey, there's a propane leak. Not a big deal, but we got to get everybody out of here. Cool. I went, Nate. It was a little dramatic on the...
Well, okay, so
Katie fell down, but she was kidding.
Right. Well,
Literally, they said, hey, guys, there's a leak. Just go outside. And I think the judges went to their little hole. I went to my hole. And that was it. And we came back. The annoying thing was we were pretty close to finishing that day.
Oh, bummer.
And we had to wait like 2 hours, but it was nothing.
It was like
so
better
Katy
safe
Perry
than sorry.
didn't really pass out.
For sure better. No, even on the show last night, she didn't pass out. They showed that she was just
I know,
kinda
but
kidding.
some people online, if you're just scrolling through online, it looks like Katy Perry passed out from a propane leak.
Well, the headline said that. I
Yeah.
think they tried to make it feel like that until last night, and then she was just being goofy.
Yeah.
It really wasn't much. The firefighters did come. All that was real. And then they let the firefighters get up and sing with Lionel, which was fun. But I'm not in the room for most of that. I'm out. Wherever the contestants are, I'm one after the other working with them. Sometimes I don't even know what's happened in the room. I don't know who gets through until I look at a page at the end of the day, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad they got through. Oh, I don't like it. They got through. They kind of sucked. It's that kind of stuff.
Well, speaking of people that got through, I want to hear from you about Jovan Webb.
Who?
Jovan Webb.
Oh, Jovan. Yeah. I mean, did you see him?
Yeah, I watched it later on YouTube, and so good.
Yeah. Here, we can play. I think he did a whipping post, right? Is that right? Here we go.
Lord, I've been tied to the whipping post. I'm tied to the whipping post. Ow! Tied to the whipping post.
I mean, you're seeing the people cut through that just aren't pop singers. There's some, but it's always people who come in with some sort of blues, rock, piano, like slightly edged music sensibility. It's rarely now people that just come in and just give a really solid, pure vocal. It's always somebody's got a little bit of character to their voice or a little character to their story. His story is about his mom dying. He came home and his mom was passed out, and then ambulance came and they're like, oh, she's good. And then she died right after that. And so he's like, man, this has been tough. And then he goes in and tells a story which we all empathize or sympathize. And then he goes in and does a song like that, and you're like, dang, from that story and hearing your voice. I think Luke said it last night. He could like see his whole life story in that song. It was really good. I really like the guy anyway, like aside from the song, but it was good. It was good. But that's the most of the people you're seeing get through are people with some kind of texture to their story and their voice. And frankly, it's like that with everything now, not just in music. I mean, you're seeing even in politics, people that aren't right down the middle as far as like, I'm just a perfect politician. They're the ones that are resonating with people on both sides too, by the way. All right, what else?
So you can change your mood immediately simply by doing this. And it's
Winning the lottery, finding $10.
Well, yeah, but
Eating pizza.
You can't control that.
Oh.
Well, I mean, the pizza part you could, but really it's just simply dressing up. So if you're waking up or you're feeling like, oh, today you're just not feeling it, well, go to your closet. And for women, a dress or a cute outfit could do it. And for men, it's pants and a tie. But I was like, wait, what does Bobby consider dressing up for him? Because a tie for you? Like,
I mean, I wear a tie all the time. So, I mean, I guess it just depends. I mean, I perform in a tie most times, so I wear a tie probably more. What do you say tie for?
I just didn't know like what you're like if you were coming into here and you needed to like be in a better mood, you probably wouldn't wear a tie.
I would not wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe you'd wear a button down.
No, that doesn't affect me. I would wear sweats for me. I think I'm the opposite, but
Oh, you are. Because this works for me. Like if I'm feeling down and when I saw this, I was like, oh, I need to share with people because it's so easy. Facebook is offering a take a break feature. Now, you have to have gone from in a relationship to single, and then it'll pop up and they'll offer it to you. And you can take a break from whoever you just ended the relationship. So it's not like you have to, you don't have to quit following them or it's not totally over like that. But if they post anything or if any of your friends repost something of them, it'll be muted.
Great
so you don't
feature,
see it.
huh?
Yeah. It's called
Does it
take a
have to
break.
be someone you were in a relationship with?
It says the only way you can activate it is if you go from in a relationship to single.
Yeah, I mean, you can take a break from anybody without muting them.
Yeah,
Right,
you can
okay,
mute.
okay.
But I
But,
think
like,
the take a break thing means eventually they'll come back, but you don't want to see all their crap right now.
Right away.
That's a really cool feature. I wonder if you can set your take a break to 30 days, 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, like the timeline.
Yeah, life. That is a good one, though. All right, Amy, is that it?
Yeah, maybe that's my pile.
There you go.
That was Amy's pile of stories.
All right, hit us up, 877-77 Bobby. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC going to be our guest host coming in about 20 minutes.
The latest from Nashville and Hollywood. Morgan number 2's 30 Second Skinny.
Congratulations out to Dan and Shay Mooney and his wife Hannah. They welcomed their second son over the weekend, and his name is Ames Alexander Mooney.
I saw the picture of the baby, and I thought, wow, it's a cute baby. But then I thought, they're putting out all the names. He could get his identity thieved.
Good.
Yeah, that's what my mind goes. Because his name is Ames
Alexander Mooney.
All his names are out there. He needs to get LifeLock. That's what I thought.
He does.
On my computer this weekend. Oh, what else?
Willie Nelson is dropping his 70th album. It's called First Rose of Spring on April 24th, and it'll be 5 days before Willie turns 87. And that album is going to feature songs written by Willie as well as artists like Toby Keith, Chris Stapleton, and Randy Houser.
Well, I listened to it over the weekend. It's one song that's out right now. What's the song called?
It's the title song, First Rose of Spring.
So I listened to it. Raymundo, can you play a little bit of this?
Like the first rose of spring.
And I love Willie Nelson, but man, it's getting harder. Like
He's struggling.
Yeah,
Summertime would have never started.
70 albums, man.
I know.
Like 70.
Crazy,
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Wintertime.
I didn't. This may be the first Willie stuff I didn't automatically save because I just hurt for him a little bit that he sounded so old. And you know what? He is old.
Mm-hmm.
And good for him. I hope we last to be 80 and still be out
Singing,
playing.
yeah.
But a little bit he was like, oh man. But 70 albums.
My cousin saw him this weekend, and he said, he's like, I just can't believe he's still touring. I said, I think he'll probably do it till the day he dies. Like, really.
How was the show?
He said it was good. I mean, it wasn't great. You know, it wasn't old Willie, but he said he still has energy, and he still put his whole best out there.
What else? Morgan number 2?
And Eric Church shared that he's been working on his next album in North Carolina instead of Nashville. And then he followed up that news with a photo on social media of him in the studio, along with the caption, Mountains of North Carolina coming soon.
Okay. There you have it.
I'm Morgan number 2. That's your skinny.
Bobby Bones.
All right, walking from the green room now is Chris Kirkpatrick. You may know him from NSYNC. We know him as about to be our fill-in for Lunchbox. He's walking into it right now. So give me a little music here, Raymundo. Here he is, walking in the studio now. Chris Kirkpatrick, everybody, filling in. Hey, man, come on in over here. I haven't met Chris. I know Eddie has. I know Scuba Steve has. Eddie, you guys met doing what?
You're missing out.
We were doing a charity event where we were surfing.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I mean, we were talking about it a second ago. He said that he wasn't sore at all. I'm like, dude, I hurt my knee doing that.
I just thought it was funny that I met most of your guys already when they're in their Speedos. Like, what is this show then? I need to.
That's an everyday thing for us.
I asked him to give me some tidbits about you, Chris.
Oh, boy.
Well, this is the one thing that stuck out to me. It says your favorite show is Game of Thrones, but it's not that stuck out. It's that you've never seen Friends, Breaking Bad, or Seinfeld.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not an episode of any of those?
No, I was just talking about how crazy life can become when you've never seen Seinfeld, because there's always that friend you have that no matter where you're at, they're like, oh, yeah, this is like that Seinfeld episode. And I'm like, no, this is like me going to the store. I don't know what you're talking about. This is kind of crazy. But and Friends is the same way. Somebody's always got a Friends reference. And I think it now is that point where I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to watch it, because then that's kind of a cool thing.
Right.
Like the movie Titanic. Nope.
Well, you've not seen Titanic either?
Nope, haven't
Holding
seen it.
out.
But we're not going to tell you what happens at the end.
Yeah. It's kind of obvious. That was my joke. I was like, no, I think I know how it ends.
Well, we're glad you're here. Good to meet you.
Yeah.
We're going to do Amy's joke. Do you have a joke? They tell you what's going to happen here this next?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Amy, you're up first. Here we go, Raymundo. The Morning Corny.
What kind of noise does a witch's vehicle make?
What kind of noise does a witch's vehicle make?
Broom, broom.
All right, there. That was the Morning Corny. All right, Chris, we're coming over to you. Ray, we going to hit it again or just let him go? Hit it? Okay, here we go.
All right, mine's a little bit
Hold
more.
on. Coming at you. And go.
Mine's a little bit more for kids. So mine was, how do you catch a unique rabbit?
How do you catch a unique rabbit?
Unique up on it.
There it is.
How do you catch? Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. How do you catch a tame rabbit?
How do you catch a tame rabbit?
Same way, unique up on it.
Do you have a kid?
Yeah, I do.
The voice.
Yeah.
You can tell.
It sounds
Yeah.
like you've recently used that voice.
Oh, I did.
How old's your kid?
He's about 2.5. Coming up.
It's a boy?
Yeah, he doesn't get it, but I still tell him the jokes and we sing.
First kid?
First kid.
How old were you when you had your first kid?
Old. Let's see, I'm 40. I was probably 45.
So
46.
I don't have kids. I'm 39, and I start to worry. Ooh, should I just give up?
No, it's a perfect time because now I make time for him. Now I'm always around him. I get to leave on the weekends, do gigs, and come back, and I'm with my kid 24/7. If I would have had him when we were on tour, I'd never see him.
When you're off, are you singing? Are you dancing? Are you doing both?
A little of both.
Can you still dance?
No.
That's
That's quick.
I do a lot of hosting, a lot of singing, a lot of performing here and there. Autographs. I do a bunch of charity foundation stuff, and just try to stay busy and pay rent.
I have spent some time with Joey when I did Dancing with the Stars. He came back a couple times.
Yeah.
Are you guys still pretty close?
Yeah, actually, Justin and I are really close, and Joey and I are really close. I just saw him last weekend. We get together a lot. We actually do a lot together. We do a lot of performing still together. So,
Do people ever go, hey, Chris, when we're at this party, sing us some songs? Are you ever the guy they point and they go, come up and sing?
Sometimes they do the monkey dance type thing, but a lot of times it's my thing was always that our biggest hit song was Bye Bye Bye, and anytime I'm leaving anywhere, there's always somebody who thinks that they're, I've got the great idea. I'm going to tell Chris bye, bye, bye when he walks out of the place. And then I always give the fake smile like, wow, great one. Why couldn't I have written a song called, hey, here's $20 or something,
Dang it, we were going to do that when you walked out.
Oh.
That to me is like someone goes, did I ever tell you get a face for radio? And you're
Yeah.
like, you know what?
No.
This one's not even funny in my lifetime. This is like,
I did some morning radio too, and that's the first thing I said. All right, first thing you don't say when you walk in is, hey, you have a face for radio. Because I did one time.
and they all looked at you like, all right, bud,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
How did
Really.
where'd you grow up?
Probably Orlando mostly.
Where were you, where did you do young kid stuff?
Young kid stuff all over. I was a Navy brat a little bit. We had Western Pennsylvania, Ohio. We lived in San Diego, Charleston for a minute, but most of my life I was in Florida.
So you go to Florida, and I read a thing on you this morning that I didn't know. Were you almost Backstreet Boy?
No, that's fake.
It is fake? Because
Fake news.
I'd never heard that before until
Fake
this
news.
morning.
No, see, the thing was, I was in school with Howie D from the Backstreet Boys. So Howie and I have known each other longer than both of us have known the guys in our band. And when he was putting the band together, or when Lou was auditioning for their band, he came to me like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about Chris, and he's like, no, he doesn't fit the mold being in a boy band. So, he never came to me. He actually went to a buddy of mine, and then I started another band and said, yeah, boy band this.
So did you not think that was your vibe when you were 23 years old?
Actually, it's really funny I didn't, because we were doing a cappella stuff, and we were doing 5-part harmony stuff, and boy band, the word boy band wasn't really even around. Like, we might have heard it a few times when we went to Europe, but that whole boy band thing wasn't really around, so it didn't have that stigma or whatever. And my claim to fame is that we would do 5-part harmonies. We were doing everything from, and I just heard the song on the way up here, as like Shy, Boyz II Men were big influences on us, and anytime even some African music that I used to listen to, I'd arrange and give each other parts, and we'd sit in a weird room that had good acoustics and do a cappella. So the whole like New Kids, that stuff, I was like, no, we're not going to do that. This is going to be like a cappella or doo-wop group.
Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. What else do you sell? How do you're hosting?
What else do I sell?
Yeah, how do you
My
pay?
wares.
You go and you host shows.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever sing and put out music by yourself? Have you done that?
I've done that a little bit. I mean, I had, a little band. I do a lot of writing. For a long time, I had a studio. We did a lot of production. That's one of the main reasons we moved up here to Nashville, to still do some production and some writing. And, I just try to stay busy, and it's nice. It's nice to not have a 9 to 5 where I walk in every day and go, okay, here we go again. This is what I'm going to do. No offense, guys. But, you know, it's like every day is like some completely different challenge. It's something, you know, I could be doing Foley work on a kid's show, or I could be, you know, writing a song with a country writer or things like that. So it's always different. It always changes.
Chris is here. He's going to hang out all hour. Well, let's play Luke Bryan, and we'll come back. Have they told you about the draft, how that's going to work?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's really our most fun segment, so we're glad you're here for that.
Cool.
All right, Chris Kirkpatrick's here. Here's Luke Bryan, Bobby Bone Show.
The Bobby Bone Show.
All right, the next segment will be our breakfast food draft. Eddie, you'll have the first pick.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and reveal your pick?
Sure. I don't mind it.
Nice.
Yeah.
When we come back, what are you going to go with as your first pick?
I'm going to go with eggs. Why wouldn't I?
Oh.
Are you committing to eggs right now?
100%. Eggs is the #1 breakfast food out there.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I wouldn't pick that as number one.
You wouldn't
but
have?
I'm out.
And Amy lost last week. So she's not in.
I just learned that I'm out, by the way. I was like preparing my list over here, and Mike D goes, Amy, you're out.
Yeah.
I was like, great. Awesome.
And Chris, you know how it goes, right? We go all the way.
Yep.
It's like a fantasy football draft.
Yep, sounds
Okay.
good.
So I would suggest, just giving you a little tip here, that you go with,
The big ones first.
no, I'd go with maybe a McMuffin first if I were you.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, go with that one. We're giving him all the bad ones. we're rigging it so he has no chance.
Yeah, right.
All right, Chris Kirkpatrick's here. We're going to hop away for just a few minutes. Come back in 3 minutes or so. We'll do the breakfast food draft back right after this.
Missed any of today's show or just want to listen again? Check out the Bobby Bones Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Big news, y'all. The voice.
We're about to hop into our breakfast food draft. And Eddie will have the first pick. It goes Eddie, Morgan, Ray, and myself, and Chris Kirkpatrick. And Eddie has chosen eggs as the first pick.
That's correct.
Okay. With the first pick of the breakfast food draft, Eddie officially.
Huevos. Eggs.
Eggs. There he is.
Yeah.
Solid pick.
Woo.
Scuba Steve, you have no problem with that one, right?
No, eggs are great. I'm into it.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. No problem.
You can watch us. Scuba Steve has on a referee uniform. He has a whistle.
A whistle?
He has a flag. He's got the whole thing going in here. He hasn't had to use it all yet, but.
No, it's here just in case.
Morgan, you have the second pick of the breakfast food draft.
Gotta go with the food that fuels my soul. It's the pancakes.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. Eddie, do you regret not picking pancakes?
No. I like eggs.
Eggs.
Eggs, man. That's what everyone eats for breakfast.
Raymundo.
Yeah, it's been popular since the Oregon Trail. Give me bacon.
The Oregon Trail.
The Oregon Trail, the video game, or literally since they were going down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they were going down it.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I mean, I admire the simplicity in you guys' picks of food. But with me, when it's breakfast, like if I'm 159, which is my target weight, and I can eat whatever I want, for breakfast, I have biscuits and gravy. That's
Good.
my number one
That's good.
breakfast pick. So I go biscuits and gravy.
That was good.
All right.
I mean, all of y'all's go well together.
Yeah.
You guys together?
Yeah, it's breakfast.
Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC serving as our guest co-host today. Chris, you have the first pick?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with a big one because I think this has always been my favorite food, and I'm going to go with cereal.
Good.
It's a good overall
Good. Yep.
overarching pick
Yeah.
of cereal. All right, first round picks are in. Eddie has eggs. Morgan has pancakes. Ray has bacon. I have biscuits and gravy, and Chris Kirkpatrick has cereal. Now, not that it won't go up there, but Chris, what is your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal? Oh, man, Lucky Charms.
Nice.
Lucky Charms or any of the ones that used to mess, Captain Crunch, that used to mess with the top of your.
Oh, they were like tear your mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, this is so good. I'm in pain, but it's amazing.
All day.
Now, we're going to go backward now. Chris, since you picked last in the first round, you have the first pick of the second round. So, Chris, what's your first pick?
All right, I'm going to go with shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits.
Okay.
For breakfast, yes.
She's not in the competition, so she's hating right now.
No, I was like, wait, are we doing? Yeah, okay. But have you had shrimp for shrimp and grits for
Yeah,
breakfast?
shrimp and grits, shrimp and cheese grits for breakfast
Okay,
is
we'll
amazing.
have to try it.
Is that a Florida thing? Shrimp?
I don't know. We've just always put some hot sauce on it. Yeah, that's amazing.
All right. I also have never had shrimp for breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. That's like, I'll take a filet mignon and grits for breakfast. Kind of feels like that, where it just,
And oysters.
it doesn't really hit the palate
Yeah.
exactly right. But okay. I'm going to go with, for my second pick, I'm going to go with waffles.
Yeah.
I feel like waffles is sitting there ready to be
That's
taken.
That's a good one, yeah.
Number one answer.
What do you have? What do you do? Oh, you're
Well, stopwatch.
timing.
I'm timing y'all.
Oh, got it. Okay.
22nd round for this one.
Raymundo, you have bacon. What are you going to add over there?
Cinnamon roll.
Yeah, solid.
Good one.
Good
The kids
one.
love them.
Solid. Morgan?
Another one that's really good is donuts.
Oh, good one.
Eddie?
Guys, I'm just going with the all-American breakfast here. Toast. Give me a side of toast on
Eddie's
that.
picked eggs and toast.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Eddie,
right.
let me tell you what.
Yeah, what's up?
Eddie, come on.
What?
Like how I grew up, we got a lot of government assistance food, right? And they gave you
Eggs?
the most basic. They gave it. Yeah, first of all, they gave us eggs, but the eggs were like made
Powder?
of powder.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had bread, government. Like you're describing to me when we went to get our government food.
Damn right.
No, not dang
Oh.
right. I'm saying we were happy to get it.
Oh.
But if you could pick anything, we didn't want to pick government.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that.
I'm going, when I go to Denny's, I get the all-American breakfast.
Yeah.
Eggs, toast, and then wait for my next
Oh,
pick.
I know what he's going to no.
For my third pick, I go with ice water.
Thank you for that cheap bill.
All right. Okay, well, second round picks are in. Eddie has eggs and toast. Morgan, number 2, has pancakes and donuts. Ray has bacon and cinnamon roll. I have biscuits and gravy and waffles. And Chris Kirkpatrick has cereal and shrimp and grits. Okay, one final round. Eddie, what do you have?
Here we go. Eggs, toast, and sausage.
Sausage is a solid one for sure.
Look at that plate.
For sure, look at that plate.
Yeah.
That is, you're right. Okay, we're going over to Morgan number 2. What are you going to add to pancakes and donuts, Morgan number 2?
Well, I think I'm going to stick with sweets. And I'm not really sure why Eddie went plain toast, but I'm going to do French toast.
That's a good pick. Dang, I was sitting on it.
She one up me.
Dang, that's a good one.
That's good, Morgan.
That's a good one.
And he's like, some Ezekiel bread.
Okay, we are now going over to Raymundo. Raymundo, your picks so far are bacon and cinnamon roll. What are you going with?
Yeah, this one is so good. It actually got stolen out of the kitchen here one time a couple years ago. It is the toaster strudel.
Nice.
Yeah!
Oh.
What?
That gives me an idea what you should do.
I'm not going to go Pop-Tart.
Oh.
You already knew exactly what she was going to say.
I just
Now I
wonder-
see why you were out last week.
Our
Okay.
breakfast food draft. Is a Pop-Tart more high-end than a toaster strudel? Like, which one ranks above in the hierarchy of food? Like, which one's fancier? I feel like strudel's fancier.
Yeah, I don't do strudels. I do Pop-Tarts.
So you think Pop-Tarts are better than strudels?
Yes, but strudels might be fancier. I don't know. I'm just saying, as a kid, I never wanted the strudel. I wanted the
The Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tart, even as an adult, I guess.
Okay. I'm on the clock now. I have biscuits and gravy and waffles. I'm either going to go oatmeal or hash browns.
Oh,
You know?
There's a no-brainer in there.
yeah.
Biscuits and gravy, waffles. I'm going to go with
Hash browns.
Time's
screw
up.
it, fried potatoes. That's right.
Okay.
Fried potatoes.
All right.
I have to shout out to my grandma out there. Yeah. Chris Kirkpatrick, you have the final pick. You have cereal and shrimp and grits. What are you gonna lobster? What are you gonna?
Yeah, right. Actually, now that you say it like that, it is gonna sound so
Yeah, go
kind
ahead.
of a little snooty. But I'm gonna go with cream cheese bagel with lox.
Oh,
Salmon.
No, that works. That one at least makes sense.
Yes, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Now it's the cheese, the grits, and shrimp.
If you went rotisserie chicken, we'd have been like, well, that's an odd pick.
I don't sleep.
Chris Kirkpatrick is here. Those are all our picks. If you win, Chris, you win for Lunchbox.
Okay.
'Cause he's not here. So you can go
No
vote.
pressure.
Eddie, I just have to say, yours is
Good,
solid,
right?
but
Simple.
yes.
Simple, but that's what America loves. Simple breakfast.
And think about that.
Yeah.
Eggs, toast, and sausage. You feel pretty good about that,
I
Eddie?
feel great about it.
Morgan, pancakes, donuts, French toast.
Yeah.
So good. What's your favorite donut?
Ooh. The glazed donut holes.
The whole.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they're so
Yeah.
good.
Munchkins.
You can eat so many of them and not
But you-
even know it.
My problem with the whole is if you get to choose, do you choose the whole? Because you could choose a donut and make 4 holes out of it.
Correct.
There's something
It's
about
different.
just eating donut holes and you could eat a whole bag and
Because you think you're not getting
I
fat.
But you are. Raymundo's got bacon, cinnamon roll, and toaster strudel. I'm going to go with biscuits and gravy, waffles, fried potatoes, and then Chris obviously has all dinner foods. all foods you need after 7 p.m. Do you do breakfast for dinner at all, Chris, with your family or no?
My kid does.
Yeah?
If he's in his mood where he's not eating anything, it's like, oh, we'll make him pancakes or waffles again. You know, they get that age, and it's like, once you find a food that they actually like for a day, the next day it's something. Oh, you love pizza? Cool. We'll get him pizza. You start making pizza the next day. No, I don't want pizza. So you just go with whatever he's hungry for or whatever we can get in his mouth.
What's been the biggest challenge about being a dad?
I think the energy 20 times a night. Dad, let's go run. I'm like, I got bad knees, man, but I'll chase you.
So he's 2.5, and he can actually move around now?
Oh, yeah.
He can run.
He's a smart little kid.
If you don't watch him,
For
gone.
sure. Gone.
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 Chris Kirkpatrick's here. If you want to
Gone.
call and be a part, baby, gone. That's funny.
Hilarious.
Now he-
Chris was like, I don't like when jokes.
Yeah.
Bye.
I
And then
gotta
he's
do 'em
making his
first.
own puns
I
about
gotta
it.
do 'em first.
yeah, I think now he just beats people to the punch. He's learned.
That's funny. Okay, we will come back. Chris Kirkpatrick's here. If you want to hop on the phones, you can. 877-77-Bobby. On Instagram, he's I am C Kirkpatrick, right?
That's correct.
I am C Kirkpatrick. All right, back in a second with Chris.
Did you know you can text us? Text Bobby, that's 26229, to send us a message.
Message and data rates may apply.
Bobby Bone Show.
The voice is back.
Chris Kirkpatrick's here. It says that you are the founding member of NSYNC. Is that true?
That is correct.
How did you get the idea to form NSYNC?
Well, I was always doing like a cappella groups, and I worked at Universal doing doo-wop and stuff. So I was always arranging music. I was always really into that side of the music. And in school, I went to school with Howard Durow from Backstreet, Howie D. And, you know, he met Lou and started that band. And then one of the guys that was in his original band quit, introduced me to Lou. And I was like, yeah, I got a band for you. I'll put it together right now. And just kind of went out and hustled. And a bunch of the guys dropped out that were in my band. And I found Justin and JC came in. We were out, ran into Joey, and then we were a band for a while. And then, you know, we still needed the low end because we were doing 5-part harmonies. And through Justin's vocal coach, we found Lance.
And part of the story is, too, you guys went and were wildly popular in Europe before you came to the States and had any success at all.
Yeah.
What is that like to go, not at home, and people just to go nuts, and you come back home and it's like crickets?
Yeah, my joke used to be we'd go over there and there'd be kids like on the conveyor belts trying to get in and pounding on the vans and everything we were doing, screaming. We'd have stuffed animals, all these toys, gifts that they gave us, and we'd come home and our parents would forget to pick us up at the airport. You know, and it's like you're just standing there with all these toys and stuff, just like, cool, I hope my mom comes soon and gets me.
There have only been, in my life, 7 or 8 massively famous acts. And you were obviously part of one of them. And I wonder,
wow,
do you know how famous you actually are when you're at the peak of your fame? Is it possible to know?
Well, I think it's like what you and I were just talking about a little while ago, you know, the overnight success type story. When we got into it, you always assume that you're doing it, you know, to be big, or you want to, you know, have your record out on the radio, you want to tour stadiums or do what you do. And it was so gradual, like, you know, starting over in Europe, we were playing shows in front of a couple hundred kids, and our biggest show was Berlin, and we had 2,000 kids there, and it was just like this massive thing. And then suddenly we came to the States, and we did this Disney special that started to, you know, really blow us up, and the shows got bigger and bigger, and it was just such a gradual transition that, you know, you're just working. You're waking up 6 o'clock in the morning with a schedule under your door saying, this interview, do this, go do this, and the next thing you know, the schedule stops coming, and you're like, whoa, that was insane. Like, I can't believe, you know, we've played stadiums. We played Rock in Rio in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and you know, now, you know, I'm walking around town and thinking back on it, just like sometimes it's surreal. It doesn't even seem like it happened.
The conversation Chris and I were having off the air was, Chris was very kind. He was like, hey, congratulations on a lot of the stuff you've been doing. I was like, man, it feels like to me, I'm just clawing and grinding as hard as I can. But it just is that it's just the Instagram culture, period. You look at someone's social media, it doesn't have to be like their professional life. You're like, man, you're just killing it. But in real life, you know, people are only getting to see what you're serving up to them.
Right.
And that was the kind of the conversation we were having off the air. And you know, it's a great point. Like, you're working and grinding so hard, you really can't see the forest from the trees. You're kind of deep down inside of it.
Well, and like with your situation, and what I was saying was all the big stuff is now coming in, because, you know, when we first moved here, and they're like, hey, Bobby Bones is down at the theater. We're like, we got to get to know this Bobby Bones guy. Like, this is crazy. And then, you know, a year later, suddenly you're everywhere, and it's not just what's in your little circle, because your friends and your family and the people around you have been to your first shows, have heard all the trials and tribulations you've had through your career. So when it blows up, it's just part of what you've been doing. But as an outsider, you know, looking in, like, it's been a big couple years for you. So
it has. It was very nice of you to say.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Did you ever have any run-ins where fans would like get into your house, or like when it was all nuts, or a hotel? Someone would be in your hotel room.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was never in my house. You know, when we were on the road, we'd come home, and I think the most I was ever there from '95 to 2001 was maybe a week, you know, or half a week or whatever, if we had a little break. But, you know, in the hotel rooms, I still am shell-shocked. I walk in, and first thing I do is pull back the curtain in the bathroom or things, because they'll find their way in, and a lot of those stories are true. And the fanaticism of it, they could love you, but they're in such a chaotic state and so crazy at that moment that, they want to. Alfonso Rivera told me a great story. A fan walked up to him, "Oh my gosh, you're Alfonso," and punched him.
What on earth?
But he was a fan. Like, it wasn't like, "Oh, I hate you." It was like, "Oh my gosh," and panicked and freaked out so much that he punched him. And it's true. It's true.
How
You
much
never know.
were you guys rolling with a lot of security?
Oh yeah, we each had. At the beginning, we only had 2 guys, one for me and one for the other 4 guys, and only because like I hated having security. I like to go out and be a kid or be a teenager or be an adult, whatever. I don't think I ever was an adult, but
So they had to assign one specifically.
they had to sign one just to keep their eye on me because, one time they shut me out of a venue that we were playing and I looked around the corner and all the kids were out front and I was like pounding on the door. I'm like, "Let me in." They're like, "Where's your credentials?" I'm like, "I'm on the credential." They're like, "Sorry," just to get me back. But we each had our own individual that kind of kept an eye on each guy. Yeah.
Melissa's on. You mind taking a call or two?
No, not at all.
Cool. Melissa is on in Virginia. Hey, Melissa, you're on with Chris Kirkpatrick.
Hello, morning studio.
Morning.
Hey, Chris, I'm a huge fan. I mean, you guys were my life in high school. I still have your pictures up on my wall at home at my mom's house. Are you guys ever considering doing like a Pop 2K reunion tour?
There's already a Pop 2K tour going out right now that Lance hosts. It's O-Town. It's got Ryan Cabrera's on it. There's a bunch of fun people on it. But as for the 5 of us, that's not in our cards anytime. And I would never say never, but, there's not really any discussions about the 5 of us. There's Joey and I do a lot together. We'll go out and perform and, it's like everybody's like, "Oh, cool, we get the Pips." But, it's still a lot of fun.
What does that mean?
Gladys Knight.
Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Oh, the Pips. Got it.
Yeah. So would 3 of you ever go out and do a tour as NSYNC, or 4 of you? Would that ever be a thing you would talk about?
We talked about it. We talked about the 4 of us, especially last year after we did Coachella with just the 4 of us with Ariana. And, it was a discussion that was made, but, there's still 4 heads that have to get in the game and 4 people have to go, "Yeah, this is kind of makes sense." And, it just isn't in the cards.
Here's a very selfish question, something I've always wondered, and then we'll drop it. When you and Backstreet Boys were going at it at the same time,
The battle.
was there ever a real rivalry?
There,
as in you didn't like each other, or was it a competitive friendship because you empathized with what each other were going through?
Well, I think it was a lot harder for them because you have to realize that this guy, Lou Pearlman, had put them together first. They were the first ones. They were doing across the country. They were doing high schools and stuff. Then when they went to Europe, they broke big in Europe. And then we followed them. And he was also kind of sneaky about, working with us. I don't want them to know. I don't want anything. We were like the redheaded stepchild. So it was a lot harder for them because here was this guy saying, "You guys are my number one. I love you guys so much. But I'm also got my backup just in case." So that, there was a little bit there. A few of us individually had some things, but,
who was your enemy?
Me and AJ for the longest time. Now he's one of my best friends. He's a great guy. And it was just, again, you're talking about 2 very similar bands doing the same thing, touring around. And the fans are the one that really make it a competition. The fans are the ones that you can only like the Backstreet Boys or you can only like NSYNC. One girl was telling me about in San Antonio, in their cafeteria, they had a table down the middle, and you didn't cross that table, or she said, "We'd cut you." And I was like, okay, that's pretty serious over boy bands.
Wow.
But there was it was just 2 of the same working. I mean, it's hard to say the same because to me we were 2 completely different entities, and it wouldn't have worked if we were the same exact band. But there was a little bit of rivalry. Now we're all really close, and we support them. I always go to their shows when they're in town, and it's fun to see them having a resurgence again. And they're always so gracious and kind to my family and friends and stuff. So there's not a problem anymore. But there was a bit of a heated thing.
Never was a fist fight.
No.
There's not even a rumor. I'm just asking. I don't know if that's a real thing.
Yeah, a
or
boy
not.
band fist fight.
That would be
That sounds
awesome.
scary. I'll scratch your eyes out.
Chris Kirkpatrick's here. We'll come back in a second with him. Again, you guys can hop on too if you want. 877-77-Bobby.
Tell me something good.
All right, everybody's here. Our guest host today has been Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. So when you go home today, what do you do?
Today?
Yeah, like what's a day like for you?
Oh, I'll drop my kid off at school, which he's at school at 2.5, which is kind of weird, but...
Yeah, what's a kid do at 2.5 in school?
I think the reason we're putting him in school right now is because he needs this whole other kid relationship thing because he loves Wreck-It Ralph and he likes to wreck it. And that's also goes to human beings as well. So trying to get him get him acclimated with kids and so he's not this, mean kid. But then I, probably head to the gym for a little bit. And then I really have nothing much this week other than, normal day-to-day stuff and fly out on the weekend to the next big spot.
I see here I'm going to plug a couple things. In Seattle at Emerald City Comic Con, Emerald City Con, March 12th to the 15th. In Buffalo, Nickel City Con, May 15th through 17th. So you'll go out there and sign?
Yeah, we just started doing these like 2 or 3 years ago. And, they're a lot of fun because to me, it's a chance that a lot of because all these fans that come up and, I tell them stories or talk about things, it's like they have no opportunity to see any of us. And Joey and I do a lot of those together. And it's just fun to, to tell the stories. And so many kids come up and say, man, I never thought I'd have a chance to meet you guys or see you guys again. And, here's an opportunity to not only meet, but, actually share some stories and talk about some of the weird stuff that happened.
You ever thought about writing a book?
No. I mean, a few times. I don't want to make any enemies. And I'm a little too honest. So, there's too much going on. I mean, eventually, maybe we'll have one of those after school movies about us or something or, something.
Have they
weird.
not yet based one on you guys? You'd think they would.
There's been a lot of talks, but, I don't think any of us really have the... Lance does. Lance does a lot of production and things like that. Lance is actually working on a movie right now where he's got two girls won an RV on Price is Right and had some winnings and followed us around the country on tour in the RV and like quit their jobs, I think, and everything. So he's making a movie about them.
So that really happened and he's making a movie about it?
That really happened, yeah. I think he's doing it fictitiously, I think. Like it's going to be a different band or a fake name band or something. But, he's been promoting it now and I think they're about to start shooting it, which is going to be cool for him.
At the height of NSYNC, would you still see the same fans at a lot of different places? Like somehow the biggest fans would get to you every time?
Oh, yeah. And a lot of it was outside the hotel rooms. Like a lot of it was... kids that were out there, we would see in New York, in LA, in Chicago, in Toronto. In a lot of the big cities, there'd be the same kids, sitting outside or in Europe especially, they would sleep there. If we were at a hotel for 3 days, they were sleeping on the sidewalk out front for 3 days. It was, how do you give them enough? Like, how do you say, what do you want? Like, cool, here's another picture, here's this. It's insane that, that is what they loved and just to be around it. And it was very flattering, but very strange at the same time.
So I met Eddie.
I slept on the sidewalk.
Wait, who was sleeping on whose sidewalk?
Both. We switched. All right, there you go.
This is the Bobby Bones Show. Let's go.
We spent the last hour with Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. Hey, man, appreciate you waking up early and coming up and hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We do have you a parting gift. We'd like to bring it in now. We like to thank everybody differently when they come and do the show because you mean a lot to us. So here it is, our parting gift for Chris Kirkpatrick. We have all signed a bottle of syrup for you.
Sweet.
I want you to take that.
This is amazing.
Put that in your trophy case.
Yeah. Feed it to my kid.
It is Miss Butterworth. It's 50% more than it used to be, and that's so we thought we got a good deal.
Miss Butterworth's got some big bones. All
She
of a sudden.
does. Do you have a trophy room at home to keep like a lot of the stuff from back in the day?
I have a room that I have awards and stuff in, but you know, it's not like yours right in the living room when people walk in that everybody. It's not on the coffee table, and no, but it's. I'm making fun of you.
Yeah, I know you are. Well, so what happened is Chris during the break asked me where I put my mirror ball from Dancing with the Stars, and I was like, well, it's not in the living room, but it's like in the hall right next to the living room, so you can see it from the living room.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
they're great accolades, and it's great to have. But especially in my business, I always think it's so weird, award shows in music and kind of even acting too. And I thought about this during the Oscars. I'm like, you know, how can you say this song was better than this song if, you know, everybody's got such particular tastes in their music and in their things they do. So the awards are awesome. And, you know, this coming from a guy who's been nominated for Grammys. Never won a Grammy, but, you know, so I might be a little bitter on award shows. But, you know, it's neat if I've got Moon Men, which are really cool. And I remember never seeing a Moon Man and then holding a Moon Man. So if people come in, I'm always like, yeah, go up, hold it.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine who stole my Moon Man, took it around all around Orlando after he felt bad for stealing it, and took pictures of it in all through Disney, all through Cape Canaveral, you know, Animal Kingdom, the zoo, everywhere. I have all these pictures of my Moon Man in all these amazing places.
Flat Stanley.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was just a lot heavier.
The Miss Butterworth, by the way, is from the draft. It's a little remembrance of the draft we had earlier, the breakfast draft.
I figured.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know.
I just put that together.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think that this was a normal thing, or if it was like that I was pop or in the same.
Well, we've done other things like a chicken, like a frozen chicken.
You did the breakfast draft, so we wanted to
That's perfect.
award you with that.
I'll put that on my award shelf.
Yes. Good to see you. Really appreciate you. I think that's it. Anything you'd like to say? It's your podium now. Go ahead.
No, just thanks for having me. Like I said, I've been a fan, and it's cool that you've got friends now on your staff here that I know, and now I consider some of these guys my friends too, and you guys my friends. So, you know, being in Nashville and knowing all about you guys, this is really cool.
Do you ever get stopped by people and they're like, I don't know where I know you?
All the time.
And
all
they
the
really
time.
don't. They can't put it together.
They'll be convinced that we went to school together or something, and I like to lead them on a little bit. No, we definitely didn't go to school together. I graduated.
Like, are you sure? Like late 90s? I feel like I know you.
I know you from somewhere. Yeah, I feel like I know you from somewhere. But you know, here it's funny, and I'm sure you get it a lot too. It's you know, people here come up to me and they start off with this sentence. It's called, I know we're not supposed to do this, but you know, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm like, this is so weird that it's the first time people like almost apologize for taking a picture before they ask to take a picture.
I was at the ice cream place a couple weeks ago, and I go up and the girl behind the counter goes, anybody ever tell you like Bobby Bones? And I go, you know, I've heard that before, but what's he look like? Let me see your phone. So she takes her phone out and she Googles me.
Oh,
and
I'm stealing this.
She pulls up my picture and she goes, this is him. And I'm like, oh, he's cute. And she goes, eh.
That's the danger in doing
Yeah.
that.
He's like, hey, and I'm like, I was like, well, okay. And I had different glasses on. I didn't have big black glasses on. I had like wire rim glasses.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, so anyway, do that. That's
My
funny.
favorite's if they ask me if I was in the Backstreet Boys or something, I just go no. And then sometimes I feel guilty and I'm like, I was in another band. We all look alike. You know, sorry, I don't want to.
Well, listen, thank you very much. Follow I am
C. Kirkpatrick.
C. Kirkpatrick on
Yeah.
Instagram. I am C. Kirkpatrick on Instagram. There he is. Chris Kirkpatrick,
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thank
We'll be
you,
back in 1
guys.
second. Here's Jimmy Allen here on the Bobby Bones Show.
Long legs, cut off jeans, pulling
Well, he did. So
was it a kick in the pants or a compliment?
well, kick in the pants because we were talking about American Idol last night. Which, by the way, there was a kid wearing a Pimp a Joy hat on the show.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Pretty cool, Amy.
So he went and sang. Him and his girl did.
Uh-huh.
She made it through. He didn't. But he had a Pimp a Joy hat on. But the Pimp a Joy part, they don't let any logos up there, right?
Yeah.
So they had it blocked out. But then when they were shooting him from behind, you saw the Pimp a Joy tag on the back.
Love it.
And he left his little sticker on there, the one that explains Pimp and Joy on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
So but Eddie said, hey, but he said he looked so skinny on that show last night. And I know me. I know exactly what I was weighing then.
What were you weighing then?
About 3 pounds less than what I am now.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean,
What did go out mean?
Well, they always just say like, the camera adds whatever pounds to you, and I felt in your case, I'm like, I don't know, man. You looked really small, which is what your goal is.
And then Eddie goes, well, you look a little bigger than that now.
Now you do.
Like
Thicker.
like muscular.
Yeah, like you've been working out. You're not been just sitting around eating pizza.
But you look great. Like I hate that you have this pressure to lose 3 pounds when you're going to be on TV.
Well, no, when
you
it's
look-
shoot time,
But
I guess I got to get back there now because Eddie's telling me I'm
no.
Hey, when did you shoot that?
Eddie?
monkey.
He looks great.
September, October.
Come on, dude. That was a long time ago.
Anyway, so now I got to get back at it.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Eddie, way to go.
I don't have to shoot again for like 3 weeks, but I guess I need to drop a few, huh?
No.
I'm not
Stop
even
it.
eating breakfast until 9
Oh my
this
gosh.
morning.
I'm going to encourage you to stop
Because
this.
I'm doing Fit 33 right now, which I only eat for 33% of the day. But I'm just disgusted with
Fine.
myself. I know that was meant as a compliment, but I took
was.
the complete wrong way.
Dang it.
It's like when you tell somebody, "Wow, you look great," and they're like, "What
Did I not look
used
good?
to?"
I
Here we
know,
go.
right?
Yeah, that's totally me.
Ugh.
Chris Kirkpatrick, fun guest, huh?
Yeah, so nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. What on Wednesday, by the way, we have my tattoo artist coming in. I'm just curious about what tattoo artists like backgrounds.
Yeah.
The craziest things they've had to tattoo. So has he done you or just me?
He's done me.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll be a fun thing to do and to talk about. So he'll come in tomorrow from KATV, which is my station in Little Rock. One of the news anchors is going to come in. So she's going to drive up. Her name's Ansley Watson.
While she's driving over.
She's going to drive up 6 hours to do the show
Wow.
tomorrow morning.
Dedication.
So, yeah, listen, we're having fun with this. We've had everything from artists to news anchors to Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC.
NSYNC.
Yeah. We'll be back in 1 second. If you guys want to hit us up, question, comments, you can. 877-77-Bobby. 877-77-Bobby. We will talk about the new Friends reunion coming up in a second, and I'm disappointed by it. As America is in celebration that Friends is getting back together, I have disappointment in my heart.
Oh, okay.
And I will tell you why next.
The morning show's official Twitter account. Tweet us at Bobby Bones Show.
Let's go over to Morgan number 2 and see what she's thinking about, what she's caring about.
What do 26-year-olds care about?
So HBO Max shared some new details about the whole special Friends reunion that's happening. It's coming out in May when HBO kicks off. All of the 6 main characters are also executive producers on it, so they kind of get to decide what that content's going to be. And they all shared a photo of them in like a yellow car. So I'm kind of excited that there might be some new content besides just them reunion like interviews happening.
So here's what's disappointing to me is it's just going to be an interview special. There's no character reunion. It's just Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox
interviewing the actors.
It's like Oprah sat down with them. So still interesting, but not enough to make the world go nuts like it is. I love Friends. I wanted to see a one episode. Like one episode that was written so we had an update on where the characters are in their lives. I know where Jennifer Aniston is in her life.
Yeah.
I see it. I'm good. But I want to know where Rachel Green is and if her and Ross are still together. But as of now, that's not the case, right?
No, it's just interviews. But they posted a picture kind of like it would be new content. Like they're all in like these outfits and they're very in character. So I don't know.
It's not going to make me subscribe to HBO Max.
Oh, you could probably do a two-week trial for free.
That's what Amy does.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I was watching on Amazon, I was watching Hunters, which is the show where they hunt Nazis. It just came out, I think, this weekend. Maybe it's a week, but it's new. Al Pacino's in it. And so it's loosely based on this real-life group of people who used to try to find Nazis back in the 70s.
Wow.
Oh, I had no idea there was truth to it.
Truth as in there were these characters aren't based on the exact characters, but
Right.
it's based on these people that used to try to find Nazis.
Nazis that came to America.
But you find out that America brought them here on purpose because after the World War II and after they shut down all the concentration camps, which, by the way, that's the tough part to watch of this show.
Yeah.
But they were like, well, we don't want Russia to get their scientists and their smartest people, so we'll bring them over to America and wipe their records and let them live.
What?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So they
I
had
didn't know
to,
that part.
They had to strategically make a decision that, okay, well, you have all these folks here that Russia may be trying to get and use against us. So they took them. So you learn, I've been Googling all this stuff that I didn't even know about all of the concentration camp. Crazy. I looked at the reviews of this show and, Mike, can you show me the Rotten Tomatoes? It was just okay, but I said, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I have one episode left. I love it.
The Amazon reviews were 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. Its audience score 72%, but I would give it 4 stars out of 5, 4.25 out of 5.
It sounds right up my alley.
I really like it. So, and then I would just Google stuff about it because it's a fictional show, but they're pulling a lot of historical stuff to fall into it. But it's called Hunters. If you have Amazon Prime, which if you use Amazon Prime to like get, I just have mine to order stuff from, and then I just have the channel as well. But so there's that. A lot of people are asking how they can watch the Opry network called the Circle Network that I'm on. So it doesn't launch digitally like all the Amazon stuff till early this summer. So, but you can go to, I think it's like circlenetwork.com, whatever that, and type in, because on a lot of cable channels it's already on. Some of them it's not yet. It's a slow rollout there, but in early summer, all of the, it goes up where your Apple TVs, your Rokus, all of that stuff. So, yeah, there you go. I was reading this story about mayo. I hate mayonnaise.
Okay.
If there's one food that I like the least, it's mayonnaise. What's your least like food?
Olives.
I've developed a taste for olives.
I don't want anything to do with that, but I love mayo. Tell me more.
Well, let's go around the room. Least like food, Eddie.
I hate olives too. I would say guacamole.
Least?
Yeah, I would say avocado.
Crazy? You're
Avocado.
Stop.
Wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, me
Why?
too. Because your
name's Eduardo.
So it's just been it's the creamy texture with no taste to it. And I even try. My wife sometimes like, oh, I put it in a salad for you. I'm like, don't like it.
So your parents. By the way, if you're new to the show, Eddie's Mexican.
Correct.
Did your parents eat guacamole?
Yep, all the time.
And they liked it?
It was in my house all the time.
It was a texture thing then only.
It's just gross in my mouth. I don't like it.
Weird.
So we have olives, guacamole. I'm putting mayonnaise as my least like food. Morgan, number 2?
Celery. It's just there. It doesn't really do much for me as far as flavoring or anything goes.
It doesn't gross you out though?
I mean, I just would never choose to eat it. If I was forced on an island to eat it, I would, but it's just.
What kind of island is that? Celery Island? That sounds like a pretty middle of the road island. I hate peanut butter too. Like right behind mayonnaise is peanut butter.
Crazy.
That is crazy to me.
Which is crazier? Me not liking peanut butter or Eddie not liking
Eddie not liking guacamole.
Stop it.
Yeah, like your family's probably like, we're not related
Yeah,
to
they're
him.
not happy with me right now.
Yeah.
2 years ago, sliced ketchup came out and went viral. A company is now making mayo slices. You can buy a package of 4 slices of mayo that look just like slices of cheese, except you know they're mayonnaise. And so they have these out, slices of mayonnaise sheets.
I'd try it.
Yeah, me too.
If I like mayonnaise, I would try it.
Yeah.
Because I think that.
But you like mustard. Would you do sliced mustard?
Guys, I will eat mustard in just my hand. Like just to lick it a little. I love, as much as I hate mayonnaise, I love mustard.
Weird.
My girlfriend doesn't eat condiments at all. Any of them. No mayonnaise, no mustard, nothing.
But she puts butter on her Pop-Tart.
She does. She was hitting me about that this weekend because she'll be in town Thursday. She was like, hey, will you try the butter Pop-Tart? I was like, sure, I'm sure it's great. Like 2 things I love, butter and Pop-Tarts. Why would I love butter Pop-Tarts? I was like, it's just, that sounds like a lot.
Did you try it or when are you going to try it?
She'll come to town. I'll try it. I'm sure I'll love it.
Will you do that on Instagram?
But the thing is, you shouldn't love it. Like Pop-Tarts alone are bad for you.
And butter on top of it?
Butter on Pop-Tarts, you're out of your
It's
mind.
not part of the Fit 33 lifestyle.
Well, no, Fit 33, for the most part, you can eat whatever you want. There's 8 hours.
Oh, okay.
I don't. But, yeah. Let's do Morgan Wallen whiskey glasses. You guys can hit us up if you want. 877-77-Bobby. 877-77-Bobby. That's our phone number. Appreciate you guys. Remember that dude who was engaged to Pamela Anderson, and they're like, whirlwind engagement, and then she dumps him right after they get married.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm talking like a day, right?
Yeah,
was
quick.
that what it was? And then you're like, what happened? And then he says he paid all her debts off, and as soon as he paid all her debts off, she dumped him. Well, there's another update to the story. I'm so intrigued by
I think
this.
they were married 12 days.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, but one day, 12 day.
Same old.
Tomato.
This guy is back with his ex now, who he was engaged to before Pamela Anderson.
Oh. Has he checked her debt?
Well, he was with her before.
I know, but she's probably like, I didn't know you paid debt. Come back.
Pamela Anderson just learned that her ex-husband has reproposed to his former fiance. That this is a whole bonkers thing here. Is this dude paying off everybody's debts? Is this how he's getting girls? How do you get your girl back that you dumped to go marry somebody else?
That's major forgiveness. Like forgiveness for being an idiot.
I guess
You being
my
an
mind.
idiot.
I guess my mind doesn't go there.
Really?
You go forgiveness. My mind goes. She just wants to be with him because he will pay off her debts.
Oh.
Or he's kind of semi-famous now.
Okay, I didn't go there.
Because, I mean, he was on TMZ and he's, people.com.
Mid-January, he split from Julia Faye West and quickly proposed to Pam Anderson. They secretly married on January 20th. Then he texted this girl that he was married to saying, hey, I need forgiveness because he did not desire an international love affair. They had a separation 12 days after their marriage. It's just tough. That's a tough situation. Because if you're really legitly with someone and they go, not with you anymore, get engaged and get married to somebody else, and then come back and go, I messed up. That's it. That's
asking a lot.
Too volatile of an environment.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. That whole thing confuses me.
Maybe they're just trying to get a reality show.
Maybe.
Maybe that's
another good angle. Dang.
Some burglars in Florida broke into a medical marijuana dispensary at exactly 4:20 a.m.
Nice. Right
Was
on.
that planned? They're like, dude.
You would think they would be trying to break into all these at 4:20. Like, there should just be alarms on at 4:20 a.m. and
Yeah.
p.m. Thieves broke into 2 medical marijuana dispensaries early Friday. The thieves arrived for the break-in at exactly 4:20 a.m. I don't know. If they're idiots, they're probably just getting lucky. I don't think that couldn't have been on purpose.
I don't know. I feel like they were sitting around. They're probably like, hey, guys, it's almost 4:20. Let's go break it.
Did you see the story about the Zamboni driver that ended up playing goalie in the NHL?
No.
Do you know what a Zamboni driver is?
No.
Okay. So it's the big old thing that looks, again, to all our listeners that are hockey fans, excuse this explanation to Amy because I also did not grow up with hockey.
Okay.
I've only had hockey in my life until the last few years. But when I was a kid, I would see this big truck that looked like it was flattening the ice. Didn't know what it was. Has this big wheel on it.
Snoopy was usually
So
driving
you would get on it. Now, when I say that, does that make sense
Yes.
to you?
Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
The NHL's Carolina Hurricanes needed an emergency goalie on Saturday, so they brought in the Zamboni driver at the arena who would work the ice. Did you see the story?
No.
Okay, so this guy, each of the hockey teams have to have an emergency goalie. They never use it because it's basically their third goalie. The first one goes down, you pull in the second one. The second one went down. He was the emergency goalie for both teams because it never gets used. It's almost like designated survivor.
That's crazy.
Where it's like, well, if the whole house blows up, we'll go to whoever's sitting in a hole protected. So he hadn't played hockey, never played pro hockey. So injuries to both their goalies, an emergency goalie. Guy's 42 years old. He was the maintenance man and the Zamboni driver in the
Love
arena. And they won.
What?
Wow, how many saves did he have?
This is usually a procedural thing. He was the emergency goalie for both teams because they never have to use it. And he was handed a jersey, thrown into action. He gave up 2 goals right away, but then made 8 straight saves, and they won 6-3.
Amazing.
He became the emergency goalie and the first one to ever be credited with a win in NHL history. He played more than 28 minutes, which is also a record for an emergency goalie.
Wow.
The guy's they paid him $500. That's what his game check was for that. But never played pro before. I played some club hockey before, but he's 42, the Zamboni driver and the maintenance man in the arena.
The best story ever.
I
love it.
It would be it doesn't need a movie. It doesn't need a series about him, but if you were doing a series about really cool things that happened, this is an episode.
Okay, all right.
You put it in there. Yeah.
Ansley Watson from KATV is on the phone, who she will be filling in tomorrow in Lunchbox's chair. Now, Ansley, you live in Little Rock, right?
Hey, They sure do.
So I met Ansley whenever I went back to Mountain Pine because I go back every year to do some stuff at my school, and she came and they covered the story, and I thought we had a good time. And then when we were looking for people to bring in on the show, she had her boyfriend's mom had tweeted or something, and then she retweeted it, and so I sent it over to Scuba Steve. I was like, hey, let's see if she'll drive up here. So tomorrow, are you coming up tonight or tomorrow, Ansley?
I'm coming tonight, right after our show ends at 4. I'm driving. Stacy and I are driving to Nashville.
And so how long's the drive for you?
5 hours. Not bad.
Are you excited about it?
Yo, I'm so excited. Are you ready for this? We're going to have fun.
Are y'all ready for this?
So tell our listeners what your job is now. What do you do at KATV?
So I am a co-host for our afternoon show, Good Afternoon Arkansas. It's from 3 to 4 on Channel 7, and it's all entertainment, lifestyle, it's all the fun stuff. It's not news.
So she's going to come in and be part of the show. Today we had Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. I don't know if you guys...
I know. I was listening. Okay. I'm mind blown. I'm coming in after him?
You are.
What do you miss this?
Are you taking notes, though? Like, are you bringing us any cool stories tomorrow? What do you have? Are you nervous?
Sure. No, I'm not nervous. It's going to be fun.
Okay. Well, good.
Right. Do you want any gifts from Arkansas? Do you want me to bring you back anything from your home state?
Well, anything I would want, like McClard's barbecue, you're an hour away from. So, I get...
Oh, my goodness. I have half a bottle of barbecue sauce in my fridge I can bring you.
I'm good on that. I'm good on used...
I have some barbecue sauce.
I'm good on used condiments. Well, we're looking forward to having you tomorrow. I hope you're excited.
So excited. Looking forward to it for sure.
And your boyfriend's mom is the one who tweeted that out? That's right?
Yeah, she's coming, so you'll get to meet. You actually met her on FaceTime when you were down here at Mountain Pine.
Oh, I met your boyfriend's mom?
Yeah, remember we FaceTimed her? You probably don't remember, but we did.
Of course. I haven't stopped thinking about it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I know.
He was telling us about it.
Remember when you opened my advent calendar?
That I do. She opened something and she was like, open all these doors. It's a calendar. I don't even know what I was doing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought there was like
It's
candy.
down to Christmas.
Is she bringing that with her?
I hope not.
Okay.
All right, Ansley, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bring another one. Okay.
All right, there she is. Ansley Watson from KATV going to be in tomorrow. Anything else I wanted to mention here? I have a bunch of notes. The KFC chicken and donut sandwich is arriving soon.
Come on.
That sounds really good. Hey, I also want to see the poll, if I can see that. Well, look at the draft we did this morning.
Poll?
Yeah. Here you go. Here's something. KFC announced that it will be making its Kentucky Fried Chicken and Donuts meal available beginning next week.
Wow.
I love Kentucky Fried Chicken. I love the chicken. Crispy, I love it.
You like crispy, not original?
Love the cook it.
Fry it.
Cook it good, man. I love it. There are certain things that I may not get to eat a lot of anymore, but when I do, KFC crispy chicken is one. Taco Bell crunchy tacos.
Oh, wow.
Cool. All day long. What else do I love to get? A Mountain Dew, which I might have about once.
You like the
year.
traditional or the Baja from Taco Bell?
Mountain
just
Dew?
a question. Don't
Stop.
judge me. Okay.
Traditional. That'd be crazy.
Like I might have one Mountain Dew a year, but it is so good.
Dude, you used to drink a lot of that.
I used to drink a 3 liter a day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. What were you gonna
Yeah,
say?
I know. It's crazy. I used to live off Diet Coke, but then if I was in a bad mood, I would pop a Midol with a Diet Mountain Dew, and it would turn my life around. I was like, this is like...
The purple drink?
It was like my syrup or something. Syrup.
You can go and vote for your favorite breakfast. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC is in last place. Because he picked shrimp and grits. And we were like, shrimp and grits, huh? Interesting. I'm in first right now, just by a little, Eddie. It's close.
You and me?
Yeah. Me and then you. I have biscuits and gravy, which I knew was going to be a southern thing.
That's
I
good.
knew I was probably going to be eliminated from a lot of our northeastern part of the country because that's very southern and thick.
What else
need
did you
to
get?
try it. It's
I have
good.
biscuits and gravy, waffles, and then I went southern again with fried potatoes. So I was really dialing in my people
Why do
here.
you went fried potatoes and not hash browns?
I know. So again,
Very
So, like-
interesting.
I was playing right to
What
my
is that also called? Home fries?
right to my roots. No, we call them fried potatoes.
Okay.
Everybody calls them something different.
You're getting the whole state of Arkansas voting for you right there.
Eddie picked eggs, toast, sausage.
Yeah. Traditional American breakfast.
Morgan number 2 picked pancakes, donuts, and French toast. And then Raymundo, kind of not in the mix here, but
Not last.
Yeah, not last. That's true. Go vote at bobbybones.com. Vote on the breakfast team that you would like to see win. I'm going to play Brett Young. Bobby Bones Show. Here's Catch. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.